This is Sparta!
Hello, this is Gloria with Warrior Yoga. If you're watching this, hopefully you've already done my first 2 intro to yoga videos. If not, I would stop this video and start over with the very first video in this series. It will be very beneficial to you when you move into learning the asanas in the actual beginner series. So to start out, just to let you know a little bit about this, this class is going to be an intro to seated base poses. So the majority of these poses are twists and stretches and forward folds that you'll do seated. So we'll just get right into it. And come to prayer for just a second. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for giving us this opportunity today to come onto our mats and take care of our bodies. I pray that this video touches someone both physically and mentally and spiritually. In Jesus' name that I pray, amen. You'll have to bear with me. I do get tongue-tied quite a bit in these videos, so we'll just get right into it. And the first pose I want to show you is called Sukhasana, or easy pose. So I'm having a little bit of knee issues still. It's actually stemming from my hip. It's an IT band issue. It's causing a lot of pain and tightness in my outer side of my knee. So I'll show you to the best of my ability. But Sukhasana is pretty much a cross-legged pose. Either foot can be in front, doesn't really matter. So your shoulders are over your hips, you're sitting up tall, shoulders pulled back, belly pulled in, pelvic floor lifted. Now if you're a little bit tight in the hips, you can sit on a block, which is what I'm going to do. So we'll just stay here for a second and relax into the pose. Again, this is called Sukhasana, or easy pose. And you can practice your Ujjayi breath here while you're staying in the pose, and your muscles have memory, so if you can stay in the pose a few breaths, maybe next time your body will remember exactly the way it felt and come right back into the position. All right, so from here, we're gonna move the block out of the way. You don't really use a block for this pose too much. This is called Dandasana, or staff pose. So you're gonna sit down onto your behind, move the junk out of the way, and have the sits bones come onto the floor. Pull your toes back towards you, flexing your quadriceps. Try to keep your heels on the floor. You're going to sit up tall and just push your hands into the floor. This is a great spine strengthener. It's great for posture. And like I said, this is seated staff, or Dandasana. So we'll just take a second and breathe here. All right, from here we're going to go into Paschimottanasana, which is seated forward fold. So your legs are going to stay the same. You're going to inhale the arms up towards the sky and start to hinge forward. And either, if you can't grab the feet, you can grab the legs. You can use a strap. Let me grab a strap real quick because I know I'm going to need it to show you how to use it. So these are very cheap, and so are the blocks. They're great for beginners to try to help you with flexibility. So if you can't reach either one of those, it's great to just wrap a strap around your feet and just pull the belly in, lift the pelvic floor, breathe out, and fold down over. with a flat back. This is Paschimottanasana, or seated forward fold. Now without the strap, you grab the bottoms of the feet and just pull yourself in. And if you're super flexible, you can put a block underneath your feet and really pull yourself in. So we'll just stay here for a couple of breaths. All right, inhale and come on up. Now I'm going to show you Janu Sirsasana, which is like a one-legged forward fold. So I'm going to start with my right leg. I'm going to bring my left foot in to the inner thigh of my right leg and just let my left knee fall open. You're going to keep that right leg flexed, toes pulled back, sit up tall. Inhale the arms up and exhale to fold forward. Now, of course, again, here, you can use the strap. And when you're folding forward, you're really trying to move the navel in line with the leg. So you don't want to be folding towards the middle, you want to be folding towards the leg. All right, so we'll go to the other side. So straighten that left leg out, pull the right leg in, put the right foot to the inner thigh, the left leg, flex the left leg, pull the toes back, inhale the arms up, pull the navel in towards the spine, lift the pelvic floor, exhale over that left leg, come down with as flat of a back as you can. If you have any kind of a pelvic tilt, like I do, mine is, I think it's internally tilted, then I'd never look like my back is flat. I always look rounded. But just do the best you can. As long as you're getting the effects, it doesn't matter how you look. And again, this is Janu Sirsasana, or one-legged forward fold. All right, so we're going to come up out of this. And this next one is one that I have a hard time saying. So this is called a torso stretch in English, but it's from a yoga teacher from a long time ago called Bharadvajasana. I think that's how you say it. So anyway, we'll just call it torso twist. So you're going to bring your left leg in and bring your right leg in also. That left foot will come about to the knee. You're going to, your foot will be the arch side down, your right foot here. You're sitting up tall, and you're going to, of course, pull the belly in, lift the pelvic floor in every single pose that you do. Breathe out and just twist to the right. You want to keep your shoulders in line with your hips, spine tall, chest open. By chest open, I mean the shoulders are pulled back. They're not like this. Shoulders are down, away from the ears. We never want to have our shoulders up. So we'll go to the other side. So you're just going to switch the legs out. I have a hard time on this side because of my knee. So sit up tall. Just twist as you exhale. Again, we call this torso twist. Inhale, come on out of that. And we're gonna do a pose called half floor to the fishes. So I'm gonna leave my right leg where it is. I'm gonna take my right foot and stamp it on the outside of my knee. Now this would probably be a good place to have a block underneath you, because if you can't get both of your sits bones on the floor, then you really need a block. There's two different sizes of blocks that you can get. So if you're really tight, you go with the big one. If you're not real tight, you can go with the little one. I'm gonna go with the little one. So both of my sits bones are on the floor, on the block. My left foot is on the outside of my right knee. I'm sitting up tall, my shoulders are over my hips. Navel pulled in, pelvic floor lifted. Breathe in, the arms up, and breathe out, twist. This is half floor to the fishes, or Ardha Matsyendrasana. A lot of times the hand comes up, and with you're not just twisting from your torso, you're actually twisting all the way through your head. So you're going to turn your head as far as it can go too. All right, so we're going to come to Ardha Matsyendrasana on the left side. So the left leg is going to come down. The knee points towards the front of the mat. The right foot will stomp on the outside of that left knee. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, twist. Half floor to the fishes, or Ardha Matsyendrasana. Inhale, come out of that. Next, we're going to do cow face, or Gomukhasana. So you're going to kind of keep the legs how they are, but just lean forward and try to scoot the knees together a little bit more. And you can be on the block like I am, or just on the floor. When you first start this, your feet will be closer to you, but with time and opening in your hips, your legs will start to come out like this. So, like I said, I have to be careful with my knee. So from here, your chest is tall, stomach's pulled in, pelvic floor is lifted. You're going to raise your right hand, and you can use a strap for this. So you can either just drop that right hand down your back and push the elbow down for just a simple tricep stretch. Or, I'll turn around so you can see this. For a bind with the strap, we're going to bind, eventually when you get flexible, you're going to bind your hands like this. But if you can't do that, you can take the strap in the hand and grab it with the left hand and just kind of pull towards each other. So, my left leg's on bottom, my right leg comes on top. Come into cow face. Right arm comes up, left arm comes around and grasps for the bind. Now this is Gomukhasana or cow face, and a lot of times I'll cue you to breathe out and fold forward. Breathe in, come out, and release the hands. Now we'll go to the other side. So the right leg will be on bottom. The knee comes towards the flat side of the mat here. The left foot comes up over, and you're just going to kind of wiggle into it. Now this side I can probably do on the floor, so I'm going to move that block out of the way. Almost. My right leg is still pretty tight. So I'm going to put that block back under me. Now we'll do the left arm. Comes up and either just push that elbow down. Now you'll probably notice that you're a lot more flexible on one side than the other. This is perfectly normal for every single body. And I have a harder time on this side. So we're just going to grasp and then exhale and forward fold. I also want to say that if you do these poses and you don't look like me, or you have a friend with you and they don't look like me, it doesn't matter. It's really what you feel in the pose. No one, is what I'm trying to say, is going to look the same in these poses because we're all shaped different. Even on the inside, our bone structures are different. So inhale, release the hands. And now we're going to do Agni Stambhasana. So this is fire log pose, and I cannot at all do that with my right leg. So I'm going to stay on the block. So you're going to bring your foot out. Your shin will be at a level, try to get it even with the mat here. And then you're going to bring your right foot on top of the knee. And you're just stacking here. So your shoulders are over your hips, pelvic floor is lifted, stomach's pulled in, and then you're going to breathe out and fold forward. I'm not going to do it because, like I said, my knee is really giving me problems. So the other side, just do the same thing. You always want to do both sides of every pose. See, this leg is just, and if you're seriously not flexible, it is okay for your foot not to be on top of the knee if it's down here a little, and you can grab a hold of the ankle so you're not sickling the foot and causing strain in the ankle. But this pose is really to open up the hips. Just sit here and breathe. So I was having some IT band issues all the way down my knee for years and years because I didn't realize what it was. And I thought it was really starting to get better, and then I tripped over a rug while I was moving and bent my knee. And it's just very slowly healing. There's really nothing I can do for it except just let it heal on its own. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, you can also sit on the block for this, but I'm pretty sure I can do this without the block. This is Baddha Konasana, or if you've done some other exercises, they call this butterfly. So you're going to kiss the soles of the feet together and pull them in towards your pelvis area, or you can just scoot your pelvis towards your feet. So you're going to sit up tall, grab your feet, your ankles, and just push down. Don't push on your knees, push down on your thighs to open up the hips. It's a different sort of hip stretch. I love this pose. I like to have my daughter come stand on either knee and make me touch the floor, but not right now with my knee. So a lot of times we will say, breathe in for length, pull the belly in, pelvic floor lifts, breathe out, fold forward. push those thighs down towards the floor. And this is Baddha Konasana, or butterfly. Inhale to come out of that. I'm going to move my stuff out of the way a little bit. Sit back onto my mat so you can see me better. And I'm just going to spread each leg out to seated straddle splits. Now we call this Upavista Konasana. So try to work out those Charlie horses you get in your thighs. If you get them, just kind of move into it. And you don't want to be too far open that it's uncomfortable, but you do want to feel a stretch in the inner thighs. So from here, your quadriceps are tight, your toes are pulled back, your sits bones are working towards being in contact with the floor, your stomach's in, pelvic floor is lifted. You can inhale the arms up, and then exhale to fold forward. I haven't done a lot of stretching lately, and I'm very sore, so I'm not coming down very far. Just a little bit about myself. I have another full-time job at Erlanger Hospital. I'm a laboratory technician. I work all hours, all days. It doesn't matter. I have no set schedule, so I do these videos when I can. So sometimes it gets difficult to get them out there, and I try my best to do yoga every single day, but some days you work 12-hour shifts, you gotta sleep. So, all right, so let's inhale and come out of that. And I'm gonna show you the beginnings of splits pose. So and it's always good to have blocks with this pose. So I'm gonna put one block on either side of me. Now, most of the time, we work into these poses, and as you work into them, you're stretching the muscles that are used for these poses. So I'm just showing you base poses on the ground. So right now, it may not feel comfortable for you, but when we have asanas where we're actually working into opening up for splits pose, you'll be able to come a lot further down into this, and so will I. And I'll be able to show you a more advanced position for this. So right now, like I said, I'm pretty tight, but a lot of times we start out with half splits. So in half splits, your hip is over your knee. Your foot can either be folded or flat to the floor, either one. Your front foot can either be pulled back or pointed. It doesn't really matter. There's different ways to do it. My favorite version is the back foot, top of the foot to the floor, and the front foot pulled back. I inhale for length, pull the belly in, lift the pelvic floor, and then exhale, fold over. So this will be mostly what we do in the asana portions, and then to work into splits pose, you just kind of got to shimmy your front leg out and then shimmy your back leg out, and you can bring your blocks up to the highest level because you want your shoulders over your hips in this pose, and you just hold. And this is called splits pose or Humanasana. So we'll go ahead and do the other side to even it out. So we'll start in half splits. knee underneath the hip, front foot flexed back, and you want to make sure you're not twisting your hips. Try to keep them squared to the front. You can also use blocks here if it's a little more comfortable. Fold down over that front leg, breathe out. Now come up, and we're going to try to work our way down into splits pose. So just, I'm a lot more flexible on this side. So you're trying to keep your hips squared. You're not opening up like this. That's a different version of splits. The base pose version, your hips are squared. Torso's tall. You're just relaxing into it. All right, so inhale and just slide those legs back together. Bring the legs back out in front of you. I'm gonna get a little drink of water. I've been working out most of the day. So sit back onto your butt. Now, this is called boat pose or Navasana, and I'll show you the full expression of the pose first. So you're gonna make sure you're on your sits bones, you're sitting evenly, your chest is tall, and you're just gonna lift one leg and then the next leg. Your thighs are tight, your toes are, your feet are at a floint, is what I call it. So this is pointed, this is flexed. So you're somewhere in between, and this works both sides of the legs. So this is what I prefer. Now, your head is in line with your spine. Your shoulders and chest are open, and you're trying to close the gap between your feet and your chest. Then place the arms out, and they're about horizontal with the floor. So this is boat or Navasana. Very good for strengthening abdominal muscles and the upper thighs. So go ahead and release. Another way you can do that is you always want the chest to be the same. Open and tall, head in line with the spine. So you can just bend the legs here. It's a little bit easier. Or you can just put the feet on the floor and just barely sit back. And as you get a little stronger, you can try to work towards sitting back a little more to work on your strength. Okay, the next one, I'm only going to show you one side of this. This is lotus pose. My knee is not going to let me at all. So what you're supposed to do is you're in a cross-legged position. Now, my left foot is going to come to the inner top of my right thigh, I'm sorry. For the full expression of this, the other foot should be on top of this thigh. There's no way my leg is going to let me do that. So this is half lotus. That's as good as it gets today. So, of course, your belly's pulled in, your pelvic floor is lifted, your shoulders are back, spine is straight, and you just breathe. And then the very last pose of every single workout, the most important pose, is Shavasana. So just lay down onto the back, wiggle around till you feel grounded in all positions of the body. Let the feet fall open. Let the hands come down, palms up. Release the breath. Just breathe and soak in everything we've done. So this is called either corpse pose or Shavasana. So I encourage you to stay in your Shavasana in each asana for at least 3 to 5 minutes. or as long as your day will allow. The longer you stay in it, the better. I hope you've enjoyed this intro to yoga video, working on base poses. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this channel. Also, message me if you'd like to take a live class if you live close by. Thank you. Namaste and stay strong, warriors.
This is Sparta!